In 2024, over 90,000 birds died in California from a botulism outbreak. In Texas, tens of thousands of dead fish washed up in the Gulf Coast in just a few days, caused by low oxygen in the water. Around the same time, hundreds of dolphins and whales got stranded. Welcome to World.Unlocked, the Scariest Channel, ultimate channel uncovering Earth's most shocking, mysterious, and mind-blowing natural events. From devastating disasters to unexplained phenomena, we dive deep into the fury and beauty of nature like never before. Discover strange weather patterns, terrifying storms, bizarre landscapes, and the hidden forces shaping our planet. Every video will leave you questioning the limits of the natural world. Whether you're a thrill seeker or a curious explorer, there's something here to fascinate and surprise you. The Euphrates River is drying up, exposing ancient tunnels and caves, and people are hearing voices coming from them. Dead zones in the ocean are getting bigger and bigger, turning entire regions into lifeless water. The doomsday clock just hit 89 seconds to midnight, the closest it's ever been. These are disturbing signs we might be living the end times. The Euphrates River is one of the most important rivers in human history, but right now it's drying up. We've got a mix of things causing it: drought, climate change, and dam projects upstream, especially in Turkey. Whole stretches of the riverbed are turning into cracked mud, and it's already messing with farming and water supplies in Iraq and Syria. This river has been the lifeline for millions of people for thousands of years. In some areas, entire villages are being abandoned because there's no water left. Farmers can't irrigate their crops, and drinking water is becoming harder to find. What's really got people on the edge, though, are the strange caves and tunnels being exposed as the river drops. Some of these areas have been underwater for centuries, and people are saying that they're hearing strange sounds, almost like voices, coming from inside them. But on top of all that, there's another reason people are getting concerned about this river drying up. A lot of people have started pointing to the Bible, mainly Revelation 16:12, which says the Euphrates River will dry up to make way for the kings of the east before the Battle of Armageddon. Dead zones are areas in the ocean where the oxygen levels are so low that almost nothing can survive. They've been around for a while, but now they're showing up more often and growing in size. The Gulf of Mexico has one that stretches over 5,800 square miles. That's slightly larger than the state of Connecticut. Dead zones usually form because of runoff from farming. Things like fertilizers and manure get washed into rivers and dumped into the sea. That feeds algae blooms, which suck up all the oxygen when they die and rot. Fish, crabs, and basically anything else that needs oxygen either flees or it dies. What's making this worse is rising ocean temperatures. Warmer water holds less oxygen, so the more the plant heats up, the easier it is for these dead zones to form. Whole ecosystems are dying out in some areas. Scientists are warning that this could be a tipping point. Once enough of the ocean loses oxygen, it may not bounce back. The doomsday clock was created in 1947 by a group of scientists, and every year they move the time based on how bad they think things are getting. In January of 2025, it was set to 89 seconds to midnight. That's the closest it's ever been. The people behind the clock include scientists and experts in nuclear weapons, climate science, and technology. This year, they said the main reasons were the growing threat of nuclear war, the effects of climate change, and the rapid rise of artificial intelligence. Current wars, especially the one between Russia and their neighbor, which YouTube doesn't allow us to directly talk about for some reason, they've raised concerns about someone actually using nuclear weapons. They also pointed out how fast new technology is moving with almost no oversight. Large groups of animals keep dying off suddenly and in strange ways. Now, this has always happened now and again, but in the last few years it seems these mass die-offs have been more frequent. In 2024, over 90,000 birds died in California from a botulism outbreak. In Texas, tens of thousands of dead fish washed up in the Gulf Coast in just a few days, caused by low oxygen in the water. Around the same time, hundreds of dolphins and whales got stranded in the United States and UK. Some of them were disoriented and no one really knows why. It's happening everywhere. Dead birds have been falling from the sky in India, Mexico, and Spain. Thousands of cattle dropped dead in Kansas during a heat wave. Scientists are blaming things like disease, pollution, and extreme weather. Superbugs are bacteria that don't respond to antibiotics anymore, and and right now they're on the rise. According to the CDC, over 35,000 people die from antibiotic-resistant infections every year in the US alone. Globally, that number is over 1 million. The more antibiotics we use, especially in meat production, the faster these bugs evolve, and we're running out of ways to kill them. In 2022, scientists in India found a strain of bacteria that was resistant to every known antibiotic. Around the same time, the US started tracking a fungus called Candida auris, which has been spreading through hospitals. It's extremely hard to kill, and it can be fatal if it gets into the bloodstream. Now pair that with lab leak concerns. More labs around the world are experimenting with dangerous pathogens. In 2023, a lab in California was shut down for illegally storing vials of Ebola and hundreds of genetically modified mice. So the fear isn't just that there are deadly bugs frozen in ice or something, it's also what's being cooked up in laboratories. So AI is advancing so fast, one day to the next, it's leagues ahead of where it was. It's already hard to keep up with, and it's only going to get worse. In 2023, hundreds of top AI researchers, including people from Google, OpenAI, and MIT, signed an open letter saying that AI could eventually pose an extinction-level threat. So yeah, this isn't science fiction anymore. These are the people inside the industry saying it, but you know, whatever. Companies are racing to build more powerful models still, and there's basically no regulation. Chatbots are writing code, making decisions, and generating realistic fake videos and voices. Deepfakes are getting so good that you can't always tell what's real. In 2024, an AI-generated call even tricked a bank manager into transferring millions of dollars. Even scarier, some AI systems are acting in ways that creators that can't fully explain. A Google engineer once said their chatbot had become sentient. Now, that's debatable, but the fact that it felt believable, it does say a lot. OpenAI's own CEO has admitted they don't totally understand how their models make certain decisions, and this is just the beginning. AI is already handling military simulations, stock market strategies, and surveillance systems, and I don't know if you've seen the ads for Google's VO3. Yeah, that's not a human being. I mean, there's a bit of an uncanny valley to it, but this is so new. It's already looking that good. I mean, honestly, in like 2 weeks, it'll be indistinguishable. There's been a massive uptick in unidentified objects in the sky. In 2020, the Pentagon officially released 3 videos showing Navy pilots encountering unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs. These objects moved in ways that defied known physics. There was no visible propulsion. It made sudden direct changes, and they were moving at high speed. Then in 2023, a former intelligence official, David Grush, testified to Congress under oath that the US government has been running secret programs recovering non-human craft. He also claimed they'd recovered non-human organisms. Now, whether or not you believe him, it's pretty nuts that this stuff is being talked about so openly now. It's like there's just no way to hide it anymore. So many people are seeing things, it just needs to be addressed. And the government didn't deny the claims outright. And reports of mysterious lights in the sky are coming in from pilots, the military, and civilians around the world. Even NASA launched a new study into UAPs, saying the phenomenon is real but unexplained. Well, considering everything that's going on in the world, it's probably no surprise that there's been a lot of high-end bunkers being built. This is a full-on industry. Companies like Rising S Bunkers and Vivos are reporting more orders than ever, especially from the ultra-wealthy. They're building these multi-million-dollar underground compounds with gyms and movie theaters, hydroponic farms. In New Zealand, real estate agents have openly admitted that US tech billionaires are buying up remote land to build these bunkers. Peter Thiel, the co-founder of PayPal, wanted to build a massive one there, but the plans were rejected. In South Dakota, there's a former military base that's been turned into hundreds of fortified bunkers, mostly owned by wealthy families. Some of them are being stocked to last years. So what is driving this? Well, it's not one specific threat. They're preparing for everything. Nuclear war, pandemics, climate collapse, and AI takeover. But the fact that some of the most powerful and connected people on the planet are preparing for the worst, it does kind of make you wonder, do they know something we don't? It doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, most people agree that something feels off, and it's us. Everyone is so on edge. It's like we're all just inches from tearing each other to pieces. Mental health issues are through the roof, especially among teens. Most people are just anxious, depressed, or just plain angry. Political debates turn into screaming matches. People argue in comment sections about the seemingly most mundane things possible. Go watch a video about cupcakes or something and just scroll through. I'm sure you'll find an intense, heated argument. Conspiracy theories are so rampant, it's next to impossible to have a productive debate sometimes. People don't trust the media, the government, scientists, pretty much any institution. And, honestly, you should have a little mistrust. But to the point where you just don't believe anything? I mean, how do you live your life that way? And then you got inflation, labor shortages, and housing prices that make it nearly impossible for people to get ahead. Crazy times. Over the past decade, people all over the world have also been reporting hearing this low, unexplained sound that has no clear source. Some describe it as a hum, others say it sounds like metal grinding or like a trumpet blaring in the sky. Videos from places in Canada, Ukraine, the US, even Costa Rica have captured the noises.
You hear that?
And they're often loud, drawn out, and echo over these huge areas, sometimes for hours. Scientists have tried to explain it. Some say it's natural, maybe tectonic plates shifting or atmospheric pressure changes, whatever that means. Others think it could be faraway trains or factories. But the problem is these sounds show up in very rural areas as well, places with nothing nearby but trees, basically. One of the more famous examples happened in 2011 in Kiev, Ukraine. A deep, eerie, metallic sound echoed across the city. It was so loud people came out of their apartments to record it.